Okay, this animal looks cute, doesn't it? But there's one problem. It will literally bite your head off. Yeah, these are cute animals that will end you in seconds. Starting with a slow loris. The slow loris looks like a cuter version of a sloth. It has big sleepy eyes that are way too big for its little face. However, they are there for one reason, to see in the dark. And I mean really see. These guys have like night vision goggles of the animal kingdom. While you're tripping over roots in the pitch black jungle, the slow loris is moving like it's in an action movie finding and hunting for food. But what really helps them be able to kill other animals for food is their venom. The slow loris has specialized glands near its elbows that produce a toxin. When this little guy feels threatened, and to be honest, it always looks a little nervous, it'll lick the toxins from its glands, then use its mouth like an evil scientist to spread it on his teeth. Then it'll viciously bite you. The venom can cause swelling, paralysis, respiratory distress, and in some extreme cases, it might even kill you if you don't get medical help fast enough. Next, we have a box jellyfish. A box jellyfish might look similar to a normal jellyfish, except the fact that these things can get huge. Their body can grow up to 30 centimeters across, but it's tentacles that are the real showstoppers. These things can extend up to 10 feet, which is basically the height of your average giraffe. Now, here's the deal. The tentacles are lined with thousands of tiny stinging cells called nematocysts. Think of them as microscopic harpoons, each one primed to inject venom directly into your bloodstream. So if you happen to accidentally brush against one, prepare for instant regret. The venom is nothing short of a biological weapon. The toxins can literally stop your heart in minutes. But that's not all. The venom attacks your nervous system, causing excruciating pain, paralysis, shock, and respiratory failure. This thing is so dangerous. In places like Queensland, Australia, the government has put warnings and installed protective nets to shield beachgoers from these deadly creatures. And during jellyfish season, which usually runs from October to May, swimmers are advised to stay on dry land, or they might end up like you if you don't subscribe. Hey man, I don't make the rules. But luckily, the box jellyfish play a key role in the marine ecosystem. They help control populations of smaller fish and invertebrates, serving as apex predators in their tiny toxic world. Okay, now let's move on to the golden poison dart frog. This little frog might just be the definition of looks that can kill. It's about the size of a matchstick, but is insanely dangerous. You see, since these little guys munch on ants, termites, and other tiny invertebrates, they absorb something called batrachotoxin. Batrachotoxin works by messing with your nervous system in the worst way. It blocks sodium ions from leaving your nerve cells, causing them to go into overdrive, firing non-stop like a caffeine addict at 4 a.m. What does that mean for you, the unlucky human who decide to pet a frog? It means you're going to experience paralysis, arrhythmias, and in the worst case scenario, cardiac arrest. The indigenous people of Colombia have known about this frog's charming personality for centuries. They would use the frog's toxic secretion to coat the tips of their blow darts, turning their weapons deadly. Now moving on to the pufferfish. The pufferfish might look like the ocean's equivalent of a fluffy marshmallow. So what's so dangerous about this round spiky little creature? Well, let's start with its superpower. The pufferfish does exactly what its name suggests. It puffs up, inflating its body to several times its original size. Except that the puffing up thing is just a bluff. It blows up just to shoo away predators. However, here's where things get dark. The pufferfish internal organs, specifically the liver, ovaries, and intestines, are packed with tetrodotoxin, one of the most potent neurotoxins known to man. We're talking about a toxin so deadly that it's 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide. Yeah, I'll let that sink in for a second. Tetrodotoxin blocks sodium channels in your body, which sounds all sciencey, but basically it paralyzes you. Your nerves stop working, your muscles freeze up, and no big deal, you just stop breathing. Symptoms of poisoning include nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and difficulty breathing. Worst case, you die from cardiac arrest or respiratory failure. You know, just your average Tuesday night for this fluffy little cute ball. So now next is the cone snail. What if I told you that a beautiful patterned shell you might find washed up on a beach could literally be the last thing you ever touch? The cone snail with its glossy spiraled shell are actually predators, and like all good predators, they have a weapon. Instead of chasing down their prey, they rely on a needle-sharp harpoon. which they shoot out from their slimy little proboscis. Think of it like a retractable straw, but way more lethal. This harpoon contains venom that's packed with neurotoxins, the kind that paralyze you faster than sonic running. Whether it's a small fish or an unlucky diver, the venom works quickly. It blocks your nerve signals, causing paralysis. It starts from the limbs and works its way up to the respiratory muscles. And there's no specific antidote, no get out of jail free card here. Victims usually just have to hope that medical intervention comes in time, but that's a big if. You can be hooked up to a ventilator, treated for pain, and maybe, just maybe, survive. But if not, well, it's game over. Cone snail stings are incredibly rare, but when they do happen, it's usually because someone is either handling the snail or getting too close while snorkeling or shell collecting. Yeah, not a good time. Next, let's meet the mantis shrimp. These cute little shrimps are mostly about the size of your hand, give or take a few inches. But size doesn't really matter when you're packing enough punch to shatter glass with a single hit. Their claws are like little sledgehammers, and they hit with the speed of a .22 caliber bullet. Not even joking. When they strike, it happens so fast, the surrounding water boils up and creates a small shockwave, which is called sonoluminescence. Now, where do these deadly cute creatures hang out? Tropical waters, baby! You'll find them in places like Philippines, Australia, and Hawaii. You know, places where people go to chill. And mantis shrimp is just waiting to take a swing at you. And let's not forget, the mantis shrimp isn't just brute, it got brains too. These little geniuses can remember things, recognize other shrimps, and know exactly how to wreck your life. Yeah, shrimp is really underrated. And I'm not just talking about food either. Now here is a sea snake. They are actually kinda cute. Their smooth, shiny scales come in all sorts of vibrant colors like yellow, green, and black. They've got these sleek bodies and small cat-like eyes that give them a surprisingly charming look. But let's address the elephant in the room, or in this case, the snake. It's the venom. Sea snakes are freaking venomous. We're talking about a cocktail of neurotoxins and myotoxins that can shut down your nervous system and paralyze your muscles in no time. These guys are almost 100 times more toxic than a cobra's. The good news is that despite their lethal capabilities, sea snakes aren't that into humans. They're not looking for a fight. Most bites happen by accident when a curious diver or fisherman doesn't see them coming. What these snakes are more into are fishes and fish eggs. These are easy targets for sea snakes since their forked tongues help them sniff out prey by detecting chemical signals in the water. Okay, that's pretty cool. But what's cooler is the koala bear. Koalas have those big ears and squishy noses that are designed to make you drop everything and take a picture. But hold up, don't rush the pet one just yet. Koalas might look like they want a hug, but you'd be lucky if it's just a scratch instead of a full-blown attack they hit you with. See, you're messing with a seriously territorial animal. Get too close and you'll be dealing with deep scratches that'll remind you of what you did that day. A koala's claws are like nature's tiny switchblades. However, the thing is, koalas aren't usually violent. They'd much rather nap 20 hours a day in peace. I mean, we can all relate, right? But mess with them? Nah, they'll bite your face off. And I'm not talking metaphorically. Their jaws are built like they've been hitting the gym, and their teeth, those are capable of doing some serious damage. And that's not even the end of the ways this cute bear can hurt you. Cause let's not forget that they carry diseases like chlamydia. Yes, you heard that right. And I know you don't want to catch that from a koala. Unless... Anyways, next is the platypus. It has a furry, otter-like body that's brown, soft, and waterproof, a beaver-like tail that stores fat and helps with swimming, and lastly, webbed feet that make them really good at swimming. See, with all these attributes, it makes the platypus a real killer. But there's something else that the platypus has that makes killing animals 100 times easier. And it's by using its electroreception, just a fancy way of saying that they can sense the electrical signals of their prey. Basically meaning they can hunt in the dark like some kind of cyborg. If you combine their electroreception and these things that are their venomous spurs, they're killing everything they see. See, male platypus have these sharp little spurs on their legs that can inject venom. And I'm not talking about the oops, I scratched myself kind of venom. I mean serious business venom. It can lead to paralysis and cardiovascular issues in extreme cases. But it's necessary for the animal to have this venom, not only in hunting but also in mating. Yeah, see, during the mating season, these bad boys are used to fight off rivals, and the venom can cause excruciating pain and swelling that'll have you questioning your life choices. Yeah, and I'm not joking about that. And what I'm not joking about is if you don't click on the video on screen, this is a life of a Tainoboa. Yeah, one of the most powerful animals in human history. So go ahead, go watch it!